Hey everyone, it's Rachel back with you. Y'all, it has been an absolute week here in the NFL. We have had quarterbacks getting cut, Baker Mayfield. We've had quarterbacks getting hurt, Jimmy Garoppolo. Y'all, this whole, end of the season is getting crazy. But it is a Thursday night. It is a Thursday. We have a Thursday night football game, so we are going to jump right into it. So tonight's Thursday night football game is going to feature the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Rams just picked up Baker Mayfield, picked him up off of waivers. Looks like Baker's going to wear number 17 for the Rams. I think that's because that's what his QBR is this year. Ugh. But Baker has literally had one practice with the Rams coming into Thursday. So the chance of Baker actually playing in this game, I don't see it happening. He's not going to have time to learn the offense. He's not going to have time to learn the playbook. So I think we're going to have another week of John Wofford. Now, the Raiders aren't anything special themselves, but Derek Carr and Devontae Adams versus John Wofford. Y'all, I gotta take the Raiders this game. The Raiders are stringing together a couple here. The Raiders are gonna get the W here. And then we have Mike White and the New York Jets against the Buffalo Bills. Now, Mike White absolutely took it to the Vikings last week. He looked just like the Mike White that we saw the week before, like an absolute, diamond in the rough. But Buffalo is pretty legit. Even without Von Miller on that defense is still pretty legit. This game here, I'm giving it to Buffalo. Buffalo, yes, they've fallen off a little bit, but I still think they are a Super Bowl contender. Once they get into the playoffs, they'll really start to put it together. Bada boom, bada bing, we're good. And then we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Y'all, the Cleveland Browns last week, talk about the craziest way to win a game. 2 defensive touchdowns, 1 special teams touchdown, 0 offensive touchdowns. Deshaun Watson has rust on top of rust on top of rust. It's going to take him a while to shake that off. And going in rusty versus Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the Cincinnati Bengals is not going to play out well for him. Cincinnati wins this game, and honestly, I do not think it's close. Also would be Joe Burrow's first win against the Cleveland Browns. How about that? But it's happening this Sunday. Book it. And then we have the Houston Texans versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Texans, they are going back to Davis Mills, the largest neck in the NFL. Longest neck in the NFL, rather, against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas absolutely walloped the Indianapolis Colts on Monday Night Football, and y'all, I see an absolute repeat performance because Houston just does not stack up to a team like the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas wins in a big, big way. And then we have my game of the week, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Detroit Lions. Y'all, the Minnesota Vikings, they have Dalvin Cook. They have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, now TJ Hawkinson. Detroit, they are wily. They are young. They are hungry. They are putting it together with players like Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Chark. Now they have Jamison Williams in the fold. Jamal Williams is looking like an absolute gem this year. Jared Goff looking like a nice stopgap quarterback. On top of that defense, where they're featuring players like Aiden Hutchinson and Malcolm Rodriguez. Detroit, the last couple times that they've played Minnesota, Detroit always gives them a run for their money and then always squanders it at the end, giving Minnesota the W. But for some reason, call me the optimist, I see this going different this time around. Detroit is going to hang on for that W and keep those playoff hopes alive. You hear me, the city of Detroit? We are playing meaningful football in Week 14. How about that? And then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Tennessee Titans. Now, the big thing to watch in this game is the health of Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence took a very, very scary hit against the Detroit Lions last week, but he came back in at halftime to finish the game. According to Coach Doug Peterson, at this point, he's day-to-day with what I believe is an ankle sprain. Big thing, though, I mean, that ankle, like, you obviously use that a lot in the game of football, especially as a quarterback or any, skill position. Tennessee offensive line has been a point of contention this season. Derrick Henry has not looked himself, and I don't put that on Derrick Henry. I put that squarely on the offensive line. Still, I think they put it together this week and get that W, purely because I don't know what Trevor Lawrence is going to look like, and the Jaguars really don't have much depth behind him. And then we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. Y'all, just like I said last week, the Giants are starting to slow down. Saquon doesn't quite have that burst that he did. And then that receiving core is starting to get, a little injured. Meanwhile, the Eagles keep on rolling. Only one loss on the season. I don't see them getting a second one this week here. The Eagles roll on for another W. And then we have the Baltimore Ravens without Lamar Jackson versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this game here, the backup in Baltimore looks very good. He looks very good. He strung together a couple W's last year. And we're going up against Pittsburgh with, honestly, one of the most vanilla offenses I've ever seen in the NFL. I don't put that on Kenny Pickett. I don't put that on the Steelers players. That falls squarely on the coaching staff. This game here, I think it's going to go to Baltimore purely off of offensive ingenuity here. Pittsburgh, like I said, they are vanilla, and that's only going to get you so far, especially against a talented defense like the Baltimore Ravens. And then we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos. The Broncos, obviously, they have had their offensive struggles this year. The Chiefs are coming off of a really close loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. They are going to be searching for that W. Hi, baby. They're going to be searching for that W. I think Kansas City wins this one. I don't see it being close. Kansas City is going to be out for revenge. I guess Skittles is joining us this week for the pick show. She really wants to be involved. She really wants her 10 seconds of fame. So here we are. We're just going to give it to her for a minute. And then we are going to jump to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, San Francisco, they do not have Trey Lance. They do not have Jimmy Garoppolo. We are rolling with the third-string quarterback, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, as we all know, is a rookie. He was taken with the last pick in the NFL draft, and he is thrust into a starting role. That being said, he looked very good last week. I have a soft spot for Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is a Iowa State Cyclone. Of course, I used to live in Ames, Iowa, home of the Iowa State Cyclone. So anytime I see a Cyclone succeeding in the NFL, it makes my heart a little warm. I watched a lot of Brock Purdy in college. I think that he has all of the intangibles to be a solid NFL quarterback. And he is going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So his first start is going to be against Tom Brady. When it comes to San Francisco, though, I feel like they've got the best system in place for a rookie quarterback when it comes to a quarterback-friendly system in Kyle Shanahan's offense, with one of the best running backs when healthy in the league in Christian McCaffrey. On top of that, we have George Kittle, one of the best tight ends in the league, again, when healthy. One of the best two-way players in the NFL in Deebo Samuel. Top that off with one of the better defenses in the NFL. I feel like this has San Francisco primed and ready to get the W in this game, continue that surge into the playoffs, purely off of this offense alone and this offensive scheme alone. And then we have got the Carolina Panthers versus the Seattle Seahawks. Now, with Carolina, we are rolling with Sam Darnold at quarterback. He got the W last week. But we're going up against the Seattle Seahawks that honestly look hungry and see they can smell the blood in the water with the Jimmy Garoppolo injury. They're going to try and get in. They're going to try and get this division. I don't see it happening. I think San Francisco holds them off, but they are going to do everything in their power to stay in that hunt. I think they're going to get a playoff seat regardless. They're not going to get the division, though. But what they will get is a win this week. And then Sunday night football, the Miami Dolphins versus the LA Chargers. Now, Miami had to take that loss last week against Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers, and they are going to be hungry to prove that that was just a fluke. Now, with that game against the 49ers, you literally had sensei versus student versus master in the game between Mike McDaniel and Kyle Shanahan. Obviously, Shanahan really taught McDaniel everything he knew, or everything he knows rather. So I wasn't really shocked that the 49ers put a wallop onto the Miami Dolphins. Now, do I think Miami's a bad team? Do I think they were exposed? No, I think they just ran into literally the wrong team. And I honestly think that'll happen every chance they meet. But when you pair the Chargers versus the Dolphins, I think Mike McDaniel's going to come out hungry. I think Tua, Tyreek, and then that Dolphins defense, they're going to come out hungry, and they are going to win this game in a big, big way. I still think Miami is one of the top, 3 teams in the AFC, and they are going to keep this baby rolling with a W this week in Sunday Night Football. And then Monday Night Football, everybody. We have the Arizona Cardinals versus the New England Patriots. We have Cobra Kyler versus Mac Jones. And, y'all, Kyler Murray has not won a game since the new Call of Duty came out. Like, you remember when we were talking in the offseason about how there was a clause in Kyler's contract stating that he had to have, I think it was 5 hours of independent study per week, was to kind of curb his video game habits. And then Call of Duty comes out and Kyler is pooping the bed. Now, the question is this a coincidence or is this really a problem? And, to have that issue of where we're kind of wondering if the quarterback's truly studying, going up against, the Zen master when it comes to defense, the Zen master when it comes to coaching, Bill Belichick. That's scary. That's not good. That's not good. Plus, I've been very critical of the Cardinals' defense in the past, and they're going up against Bill Belichick, who really knows how to kind of take what you do well and take it away from you, regardless of what he's dealing with. I mean, obviously, through the Tom Brady era, he had Tom Brady, but the supporting cast around him wasn't always that special. And yet they're still winning Super Bowls. This game here, purely for the story alone of Kyler not winning a game since Call of Duty came out, I'm giving this one to the New England Patriots. Even fresh off the bye, I gotta do it till I see Kyler win one. But, excuse me, that is gonna wrap up this week of football. I'm really excited. It looks like a really fun week. Let's go Lions in that game of the week. And hey, I will see you all next week. All right, my friends, always great talking to you, and I will talk to you soon. All right, goodbye.